Howdy everyone, welcome. It is really, really rainy. I know that looks bright. I think that's because the sun's trying to poke through, but you can see the rain on the windows back here, so didn't even bother with the hair today. Had other things I was working on. So, this month has been about falling back in love with your business, and we've talked a lot about different areas, clients, and why, being ready for the gifts and the gifts that your business should be giving you. And I think that's really where we're going to kind of tie in with employees today. That's what I put out there on the comments, and then I almost changed the subject as we get talking. But I don't think we've had a chance to talk about employees. And employees are a necessary element of being able to grow your business. You're not going to be able to do it alone. Nobody does it alone. And, sometimes if we think about more generally as team, you really see how soon team needs to come into your business. And I was talking with somebody that's starting the mastermind here in the next couple of weeks, and we were going through the curriculum, and one of the months is on team. And she's like, Leslie, I don't know that I really need that. I mean, I'm just starting out. What I'm doing is really simple. And I was like, well, the honest truth is you need team sooner than you think you're going to, because there's only 24 hours in a day. Because as much as we would love to think we could be a paperless society, we're not. Admin takes up a huge percentage of a business owner's day, and in all truth, it's necessary, but it's not revenue generating. And so you'll need to bring on team, and most likely admin is the first person to help, the first person to hire somewhere along the way. Well, even for my more established business owners, the people who have been in business a while and have team, team is a very emotional decision. And here's why I'll say it's an emotional decision. Because most business owners don't hire soon enough, because it's not so much that they don't think they need it. They know they need somebody. What they're worried about is being able to support somebody, like being able to take on a paycheck. And for a lot of business owners, what that means is not just being able to pay like the next week's paycheck, but knowing in their heart of hearts and soul of souls that they can support another employee, that they can support another employee's livelihood. See, there's a personal relationship, I think, for a lot of business owners with their employees, in that they view them a little bit like family. They view them as in they have made a commitment to be able to provide a livelihood for their employees, more than I think like a corporation sees employees. Sometimes people talk about being a number. And I feel like that's a little bit of a corporate. That's not how most small business owners really view their employees. They view them as family and friends, and so much more of a personal relationship, which is awesome. But it can also lead to some other things. It can lead to a lot of different things. One is I find sometimes that business owners hire reactively. And in such, they hire the best of who's in front of them, not always the best for the job. And because they're reactive, they typically will allow red flags to pop up, but not do anything about them because there's too much work. It would take too much time to hire someone else. Very reactive decision making. And that can lead us to a position to where we're really not happy with our employees. I want to talk about that, because it's really not the employee's fault. And in some ways, I think, and I know I did this in my first business, guys, I expected my employees to think like an entrepreneur. And the honest truth was, if they were an entrepreneur, they would have their own business. And so it was a little unfair for me to have that expectation of them. This is kind of some of those unfair expectations I want to talk about. I think a lot of times I see business owners expect their employees to know what to do, know what the right thing to do is, right? And yes, we have general ethics. Hopefully you're hiring based on ethics and integrity and honesty and all those things. But some things are left up to interpretation, right? And if you assume that your employees are going to know what you think is a great decision or what's the right decision or how you would like to handle something, you're probably going to be disappointed because every human has a different view, a different slant, a different way of doing things. And so, again, it's unfair for when we expect our employees to be mind readers. It just is. Now, this puts a lot of ownership or a lot of responsibility back on the business owner, right? To be clear, to have consistent communication, to be able to define where the boundary lines are, right? In the business, what's good, what's bad, what do we consider a score, what do we consider a penalty, all of those nice fun things. It requires that you as a business owner be better prepared. But there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's a part of putting those foundations into place. That's stuff that even if you haven't in the past, you can start tomorrow and really start to shift the way people work in your business. Because I love like if you think about Virgin and their model where really the company's motto is to take care of the employee so the employee can take care of the client. I think that's the secret to success in a lot of ways, is if you can take care of the employees so the employees can take care of your clients, you'll actually have a business that can get some leverage and that can get some serious growth and have wealth and worth in as part of that business. Not everything be on your shoulders. So when you think about, team and employees, and I'm speaking a little more to people that have employees, if you have found that you've developed a level of distrust, if you're not in love with who you go to work with every day, the car in front of me where there's somebody in it just went off, so if you can hear the alarm, that's what's going on there. There's some things that you can do to correct it and to shift it. And a lot of it has to start with you and how you change things, right? But there's also some guidance and some leadership that you can bring into your business so that your employees shift as well. I think I always look at it as everyone walks into a situation asking what's in it for them. And whether that's your clients or your employees, but if you can answer that from them and really look at it from your employee standpoint of what's in it for them and start from there and what you want it to be, what you want it to be in there for them. That's a confusing sentence. It starts to put you in a much more positive kind of role. I will say, guys, I would say the one time that I see where business owners let the personal relationship of friend and family of an employee go too far is when you're not holding people accountable, right? So that may be the last part of that, is really to hold your employees accountable. Let them know, first of all, what they're accountable for so that they're not blindsided, because nobody likes that, right? But then hold them accountable, right? Keep them understanding that you see what they're doing and that it can be improved or that it can shift or it can change so that everybody's playing for the win, not just you. You don't feel like you're going up against your own house, as it were, in your business. So think about those things as you're looking at your employees. If you were to sit down and go, okay, here's what I'm not in love with right now, and you just started to line it out, and then you started to go, okay, what is it that I can shift in me to start changing that story, to start changing that reality? What is it that I can help shift in my employees to start changing that reality? And I'll leave you with a little bit of gratitude. A little bit of gratitude goes a long way. And I know there's an exercise that Darren Hardy talked about doing, I believe, with his wife when he was frustrated, and he started keeping a gratitude journal just on her. And all he was allowed to do was write in his book what he was grateful to her for. Well, you can do that to your employees, and it really shifts your attitude, right? Things may not be perfect, but when you can start to see more positives than negatives, then you start to have a little bit more motivation and inspiration and start to fall back in love with your clients. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you're enjoying coaching from the carpool. We'll be back next Thursday. Hopefully, although it's supposed to be raining again, hopefully a little bit better weather and hair cooperation for you there. But until then, have a great day. It's been Leslie Hassler with your Biz Rules Business Coaching, and we're coaching from the carpool.